In the last video in this video series, you completed step 1 of setting up your web presence and registered a domain name for your business. Now people know where to find you on the web, but you need to store your website data somewhere, and that is the job of your hosting provider. In this video, we'll discuss the features of the HostGator hosting service, choose a plan, and then you can watch over my shoulder as I purchase a hosting plan so that you can go about doing the same for your business. Let's do this. Okay, welcome back, or welcome if this is the first video that you are seeing in this series, to choosing a hosting plan and getting started with HostGator. I'm Kevin Stryker with TRU LIFT Digital Marketing, and this is video 3 in a video series titled, How to Easily Create a Web Presence for Your Business, Even If You Have Zero Technical Skills. So glad you could join me. In video 2, you got your domain name registered with Namecheap, and now that you have that done, the next step is to set up your web hosting with your hosting provider. The one I use, and will be walking you through in this video, is HostGator. If you want to go back to either of the 2 previous videos before watching this one, video 2, how to register your domain name with Namecheap, or video 1, the introduction video to this video series, there is a link at the top of your screen right now or in the description area of this video that will take you there, and then come back. And just as a reminder, if you are interested in downloading the Ultimate Web Presence Checklist to use to follow along in this video series, taking you from this point with no website or web presence to a functioning website and social presence that is set up to track your visitor interactions with your brand and or company and retarget those visitors, there is a link for that as well that you can click on in the description area of this video that you can use to download your checklist immediately for free. Let's get into it. We'll want to start off on the HostGator homepage, and to do that, you can either go there directly by typing hostgator.com into your browser, or once again, you can find a link in the description area to take you there directly. Following the link in the description area, you will be able to get a 20% discount on your hosting with HostGator. In fact, in this video, I'll even show you how to get even more of a discount. Depending on when you view this, possibly as high as 60% off, so look for that. At this point, there are 2 paths that you can go down in this video. If you are interested in learning some of the background of HostGator and its services, and the rationale I use when selecting hosting packages, just keep watching this video. But if you want to jump ahead to the actual purchase of the hosting, in the description area below this video, or wherever you find it, there are timestamps that you can click on if you're on a desktop or laptop, or scrub to if you're watching this video on mobile, that will help you skip directly to that part. Following any of the links I mentioned, you will end up on a page that looks like, or relatively similar to this. The user interface may change a bit as companies always try to refresh their look, but the main concepts and areas that I will cover in this video will be somewhere on this page. If you look at the top of the screen, you'll have your top navigation bar, and this is essentially what services HostGator offers. They've got web hosting, which is what we're after here today. They've got cloud hosting, which we'll discuss in a little bit, WordPress hosting. You can be a reseller, which allows you to sell hosting to clients if that is the kind of business that you have. You can get a virtual private server, or VPS. You can get the use of a dedicated server, and then lastly, domains. We discussed domains in the last video, and the reason why I use separate domain registrars and hosting services. Like I said, what we're really interested in here, for the purpose of this video, is the web hosting. HostGator outlines the features and benefits of their web hosting platform, including easy control panel, you can even check out a demo, one-click script installs, you can get $100 worth of Google Adwords and $100 towards Yahoo or Bing, a lot of free website templates, 99.9% uptime, which is very important, a 45-day money-back guarantee. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. And then what's probably really important to anyone who requires hosting, 24/7, 365 technical support. So now, since that support is so important, I just want to highlight it here for a second. If you go to this link right here, just below 24/7, 365 support on the top right, I'll right-click on the support to open it in a new tab. If you click on that tab, you see essentially what methods you have available to you in terms of support. They have the toll-free numbers at the top and the opportunity for live chat if that's what you want to do. If you look down here in the quick links, you can contact support, which is the same number as the one shown above. Start a live chat, which we just talked about. You can create a ticket, which is submitting a question to customer service or a help desk, usually by email, that then gets replied to, usually by email, until your issue is resolved. And then you have an area where you can specifically manage the facets related to your billing. Now, obviously, you don't have any billing yet, but when you do get that set up, if you have any questions relating to it, here's a place where you can ask those questions or find answers. If you have a specific question, you can type that in the search box above and hit search, and HostGator will try to find support articles related to your query. Below the quick links, there's another area for you to find answers or create a ticket. There's an account add-on section where you can add features to an existing account if you have one, or upgrade your account. You have access to forums where you can ask questions of other HostGator users and moderators and view answers to other people's questions. And then you've got video tutorials on specific topics that you may need help with down the road. Pretty much like I'm doing here in this video, actually showing you what steps you have to do to accomplish whatever end goal it is you're wishing to achieve. I'm just going to close this tab and go back to the home screen, which is where we need to start. So I'll just quickly go through the rest of this site to get you comfortable with it and give you a better idea of what HostGator does or can do in case you're not familiar with it. These are really just a few of the other services that HostGator can provide that are really just upsells. That if you're just looking at hosting for the very first time or just starting a site, you likely don't require yet. They will likely be more than you're going to need at this point, but either way, you can get WordPress hosting, VPS hosting, and dedicated hosting. I don't go for any of these myself, but of course it's up to you. There's a little bit more information on HostGator, what they are, how you can easily get started with them and their one-click installs, and a little more information if you are transferring from another host. But here is kind of the main information that I wanted to show you on this page because it's what's important, at least to me, when I'm looking at something, and that's the support. I've been with HostGator now, I think it's been since April 2012. I've had 8 or 9 separate accounts, and I've never had a problem with them as far as downtime or anything like that. I've used their support a few times because I've had some billing questions and so forth, just due to the fact that I've had a number of websites hosted with them at any one time, and I just wanted to straighten them out, and found that I got really solid help there. There's a 45-day guarantee, which I think is a huge plus if you have any doubts or concerns about the service, and then 99.9% uptime, which is incredibly important as well. You don't want your sites going down all the time, or at all, as that can cost you a lot of money in lost revenue, or just customer satisfaction. Your user experience, of course, is very important. Here's a little bit of information about what others say about HostGator, a little social proof to give you some comfort, and then various other links at the bottom of the screen that you can check out if you want. So I'm just going to jump back up to the top and we'll get rolling on your new hosting. To get started, you need to click on the big yellow button, aptly titled Get Started Now. You'll arrive on the Choose a Plan page. I can click on the Choose a Plan button or scroll down a bit as it's just going to take me here anyway. The navigation bar shows you what section you are currently in, web hosting, and specifically plans at the moment. I will talk about the features section in just a bit, the application section, which is basically who the hosting works with or integrates with, and then the technical specifications. Here are the 3 plans that HostGator offers: Hatchling, Baby, and Business. All 3 of which are 20% off if you clicked on my link. The plan that I recommend is the Baby plan. That's not trying to upsell you. I am an affiliate for HostGator, but the reason I recommend the Baby plan over the Hatchling plan is that with the Hatchling, you only receive a single domain. Which is fine, and you might think, well, that's all I'm really after anyway. I'm only going to have one site and therefore only require one domain hosted. Which makes sense, but the Baby plan has unlimited domains. So while I would have thought the same, I really only need one domain, I have always gone with the Baby plan, and the reason for that is the unlimited domains. And the reason for that is that even though you think you're never going to use more than one domain, the truth is at some point, earlier or later, you may want to incorporate a landing page that stands alone and has a separate identity that links back to your main site. For me, for example, I have a site, emailmarketingleverage.com, that is a landing page for a different video series that I offer, and it kind of has its own identity. It's not going to be on this new site that I am developing, and it wasn't on my old one. It stands by itself and has its own branding to differentiate it from other products or services that I offer. So when an idea of something possibly standing alone comes up, while I will have to go out and get another domain for it, in this case emailmarketingleverage.com, which in my case I've already done, I'll have to register that. But as far as hosting goes, I can put that emailmarketingleverage.com site, which is really just a separate page, as a subdomain beneath my main domain. My main domain is going to be trueliftdigital.com, so that is a good example of when I might want another domain hosted, and it will not cost me anything additionally to have that extra hosting. Both domains will sit inside of the same hosting plan. Another instance for me is in the last video I registered trueliftdigital.com with Namecheap, but off camera I also registered trueliftdigitalmarketing.com. Now I'm likely not going to use trueliftdigitalmarketing.com for a standalone site, but I do want to control that domain as well in case some site visitors of mine, remembering the name of my business, TRU LIFT Digital Marketing, but don't have my site trueliftdigital.com committed to memory yet or saved in their browser. They may type in trueliftdigitalmarketing.com by accident. I want to be able to redirect those visitors or potential visitors to where they intended to go in the first place. To do that, I need that domain hosted as well, and I can do that inside of the baby plan structure, which allows for hosting of unlimited domains. If I did not have the baby plan with unlimited domains, I would have to buy another hosting package just for the second domain so that I can redirect it to the first one, essentially doubling the cost of my hosting. Other than that, the plans are the same, so it's definitely up to you. If you click on the drop-down to see the various prices for the number of years that you are interested in, you can see the locked-in price that you would get your hosting for if you committed to the respective time period today. So if you buy the monthly rate, you will get the 20% discount, in this case $9.56 per month if you clicked on my link, but only for the time period that you commit to today. If you only commit to 1 month, you get the discount for that month, but then the price goes up to the regular price, which I believe is $11.95 per month, at least at the time of shooting this video, from month 2 onward. If I want to lock in that discount for 6 months, I can commit to that today, but then I have to pay for those 6 months up front. I can do a year, which is what I'm going to go for, after which time the monthly price goes up to $11.95 or whatever it is at that time after that year is up. Of course, you can go for 2 or 3 years and lock that discount and even receive the benefit of a bit of additional incentive by locking in for that longer period. Of course, it's totally up to you. It's a question, I suppose, of how long you intend on having your site, perhaps it's just a temporary thing, and how long you feel comfortable locking in for, and your budget, etc. When starting on a new venture, cash can be tight, I understand that. So do what you think is right. There is another upsell here. If you are interested, you can have cloud hosting. So let's just click on this I here for more information to show you what that's about. Basically, it's a little faster, and if you have a lot of traffic going to your site, the cloud hosting will better address that. I'll sound like a broken record, but it's really up to you what you're going to do. Quite honestly, if you're just starting a new website, as much as we all like to think we're going to get crazy traffic going to it right away, myself included, the truth is a really high amount of traffic, unless you have a crazy high budget to dedicate to ad spend, is not going to come until you get some really high quality content on it produced regularly over time. As far as speed goes, and load speed of your site is particularly important for user experience, unless you have a super dense video-rich page or something like that, speed isn't really going to be a factor either. I'll show you in video 8 a free plugin that I use to help speed things up considerably. And if you get to that point where speed is an issue, you can always put something like this on later. So I'm not going to go for that. I'm just going to hit the sign up now button, but before I do, I just wanted to quickly talk about this how do we stack up against the competition link. That's something that I think is kind of worth checking out. That's lower down on the page. But this compare all plans is something that I think is interesting. So I'm just going to right click on it and open it up in a new tab. This just gives you a little more detail on the 3 different plans that HostGator offers, Hatchling, Baby, and Business. So like I said, I'm going to go for the middle one, and I discussed why, but this kind of gives you a better read on exactly what is offered in each plan and the various advantages that you get. Here in the business plan, you can get your own toll-free number, free dedicated IP, and free private SSL. I don't know if you're going to need it or not. I don't, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Then if you scroll down, essentially all the plans are the same here. There's a bit of a difference there in the domain FTP section with the add-on park domains, which we already talked about, and then the ability to get anonymous FTP with the business plan. And then they're basically all the same features, until you get to this e-commerce section where things are a little bit different. So there's the toll-free numbers for business, private SSL allowed for Baby, which means if you need it, you can get it later, and included for business. And then dedicated IP available in Baby for $4 more per month and free inside Business. So that's kind of all I wanted to show you here, so I'll just close that tab. So now I'm going to click on the Sign Up Now button. We can register a new domain, but we've already done that in the last video. So I'm just going to hit the I already own this domain tab, and I'm going to enter trueliftdigital.com, and you can enter the domain that you have registered. It's going to tell me that the domain is added, and then it gives me a list of other alternatives, basically upsell opportunities for HostGator if I want to tie up another extension. If I want to add any of those, I can, or you can. I'm not interested. I'm just going to go to the Choose a Hosting Plan section, It's already pre-populated with the information I added in the last step, basically baby plan for 12 months. I'm getting my 20% off. Here it states that the new plan renews at the end of the year at $11.95 per month. Just so you know, even though I am committing to 1 year, when my renewal comes up, I don't have to commit to another year again. I can pay month by month. Then I'm going to enter in my username, which I apologize, but I'm going to have to blur out for security reasons. This is just a name that you will use to log into your customer portal, which I'll show you in the next video. And then enter a security pin. I'll just put 1234 for now. Don't worry, you can change this pin later if you want to. It's just to be used when you're dealing with customer support. Then I'll scroll to the next section to enter my billing information. Basically, it's personal information on the left and credit card info on the right. You can pay by credit card or PayPal. I'm just going to enter my personal information off screen and blur it, and ditto with my credit card info. There it is. Okay, now scroll down to the Add Additional Services area. You'll notice that there are 4 different add-ons or upsells that you can purchase. I'm not trying to upsell you on any of these services. I just wanted to point out that there are 2 that are automatically selected for you. This Hack Alert and the Site Backup by CodeGuard. Now it's completely up to you what you are going to do. I don't want to dissuade you from something that is protection. But I'll just add that Hack Alert lets you know if someone has hacked your system. It does not prevent them from doing it. It lets you know as soon as it does happen so that perhaps you can take some sort of immediate action on it. I'm not saying to get it or not get it, but for me, I'm just not going to get it. You can get your professional email from Google, so I can get kevin@trueliftdigital.com for an extra $5 per month that works inside of the Google platform like your Gmail account works if you have one. Meaning that you can access your email via webmail on any device as long as you have internet access, as opposed to on an email client like Outlook or something that requires the program to be downloaded and installed on the device you are using to access email. I will show you in the next video that I am still going to get kevin@trueliftdigital.com and maybe a few other ones like info@trueliftdigital.com and support@trueliftdigital.com or maybe something like that, and get them enabled on my smartphone. This service just allows you to get a little more storage and allows you to get it on different devices, tied in with your contacts and calendars and so forth. That might be of value to you, but I'm not going to take them up on the professional Google email here. Site backup, obviously not a bad idea. I'm not going to take that either, but if you want to get that, I definitely wouldn't tell you not to. FYI, you can add this on later in your cPanel or customer portal if you want it, so saying no here doesn't mean no forever. In video 8, I'll show you a plugin you can use to back up your files. It has an automated component, but is more manual than what CodeGuard is offering you here. If you wanted to throw this on top of that, it's never a bad idea to back up your backup. I'll leave that with you. HTTPS, basically SSL certificates, secure socket layers here, if you are doing or going to be doing a lot of particularly e-commerce type stuff, or if you have order pages and so forth where you have sensitive data, like storing passwords or credit card collection, etc., you may want to get an HTTPS page. Since January 2017, Google Chrome will display your site as not secure in the search results unless you have an SSL certificate or HTTPS web prefix as opposed to the standard HTTP. So even if you don't intend on selling anything on your site or dealing with any sensitive data, while you definitely don't require it, and some would say not to even bother, there are others that will point out if a lot of other sites are secure and yours isn't, that it may possibly adversely affect the trust a visitor has with your brand. Having said that, I'm not going to get it, even though I intend on having the ability to sell products from my site. The reason is that you can get free SSL using Cloudflare, and that is what I intend on doing. Check out our YouTube channel if you want to learn how you can do that. And just to be clear, if you intend on collecting credit card numbers when selling products from your site, you will either require a merchant account or third-party payment processor like Stripe or PayPal, etc. that integrate with your website, so you will not have access to credit card information anyway. For more info on that, you can check out our TRU LIFT Digital YouTube channel as well. Even if you decide to pass on SSL now, you can get SSL added to your hosting account later if you change your mind, although it may cost a bit more adding it later. I'm just showing you this section and explaining it because actually, first let's just go back to the bottom to review your order details and I'll explain. You'll see that the price is $154.66. It's got the baby plan for the correct 12-month period, but it's the add-ons that are bringing that total up. So let's just scroll back up. Again, you can keep them on there if you want, but I'm just going to show you that I'm going to take these off or uncheck them because I'm not going to have them as part of my order. And then if I go back to the bottom, remember we just saw $154.66, but now we see $114.72. That total reflects the 20% discount and having those add-ons unchecked. Again, doing that is up to you. That's not the point I'm really trying to make here. If you look in this coupon code area, if you came here through my link, it will be pre-populated with Snappy. But if you type in Web Presence 25, WEBPRESENCE 25, no spaces, and you validate that by clicking here, my total, and your total if you're doing the same options as me, is going to go down to 107 something, but then back up to 132.54. The reason is because it is automatically going to check the hacking alert here. It's highly recommended for you, so I guess they really want you to have it. I'm still going to uncheck it, just for demonstration purposes if nothing else, and show you down below that the price has now dropped back down to the 107.55 mark. So that coupon code I just gave you can help you save a little bit more, 25% in total. I just wanted to add here that HostGator does offer a seasonal promotion from time to time that gives you a 60% discount off their hosting packages. The coupon code for that is WebPresence60 with no spaces. Try typing that in the coupon code area and then click on Validate to see if it works. Hopefully you can get that additional savings using that code. If not, WebPresence25 will still get you 25% off. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you here. You can review the terms of service, cancellation policy, and privacy policy. I'll leave that up to you. Most people will skip reading those, but I do want to highlight that if you do skip those, perhaps just quickly peek in the cancellation policy, as there are a few requirements that you will have to fulfill properly to get your refund. They are minor, things like notice period, etc., and I don't think you will be asking for a refund, but want to make sure, if in the off chance that you do, that you don't disqualify yourself by not doing it correctly. It has a 45-day period, which is nice. So if you're comfortable with all three policies, just check the box here. One last look at my price and what I'm getting. I'm done here, so I'm just going to click on the Checkout Now button. It tells me they are setting up the account. I've got a slow internet connection here, so your site might be faster than mine. And there you go. I'm redirected and signed into my customer portal for my new HostGator hosting account, where it tells me my order was completed and I'm welcomed to the HostGator family. So hopefully, if you followed along, you're seeing the same thing or something similar. If so, congratulations on setting up your hosting account. Check your inbox of the email address that you used when you signed up for your HostGator account. In it, you will find at least 2 emails with information you will require for logging into your HostGator accounts. Now that you have your domain name registered from video 2 and your hosting lined up in this video, if you are following along with your Ultimate Web Presence checklist, you will notice in the next video, I'm going to talk about how to effectively use your hosting account by walking you through the 2 main areas of HostGator, being your customer portal, which you just saw a moment ago, and your control panel or cPanel. I'll show you some key main areas of each, how to do some basic things like change your password to something you can actually remember, and get you ready for the next step of pointing your domain name to your hosting, which we'll cover in video 5. You're making some real progress here towards establishing your business's web presence. Keep with it. Let me know how I'm doing or how you're doing. I'm always interested to know where I can help. Leave me a comment below this video or at the bottom of this post if that is where you're viewing it. If you want to go to the next video now, just click on it and you will be taken there. Thanks for joining me for this video. I'll see you in video 4.